Hello and welcome to another video from Attribution Gaming. So here we are today. We're going to be back in our Centurion 7-1. We've been playing this quite a lot over the last few days as we were climbing to the top of the tree to get our Centurion Action 10. And we have now got that. But in doing so, we managed to have some quite interesting games, and one which I thought would be good to make a video of today, which is you are on the map of mines and you've lost the hill and what to do next, coupled with a lot of people get hung up on the number of tanks left on their team, and of course every tank that is dead is a gun that you've lost from your team, but it doesn't always tell the whole story. So I thought we would sort of delve into a bit of that today, but in particular looking at the map on mines, losing the hill and seeing what can be done to improve your position. So we're in the Centurion 7-1. It is fully upgraded with the best gun, and as we know that from a previous video, great alpha damage, good penetration, still a decent rate of fire. So overall I really love the tank and the gun. Almost no need to fire the premium Hesh rounds unless you really do need that extra bit of damage, but overall an excellent tank with a good turret, and hopefully you'll see that come to light in some of the gameplay. So without further ado, let's not waste any more time in the garage. Let's go and actually see some gameplay and see how this turned out. So let's go there now. Okay, so here we are on the mines map. We've got a mixture of tier 10s, tier 9s and tier 8s. So we're in our medium tank, and the first thing I want to do is I want to push for the hill, and I'm expecting as well mediums and light tanks to also help pushing the hill. Most of the time on this map, the person that wins the hill does win the match, so that's something that the vital importance of that situation. But they do have an EBR who's made it straight on top, and there goes a Barask auto loader as well. The T50 has bailed out. The T69 has continued to push and is instantly killed. We get one shot on the object 140 and the hill is theirs, and we've lost it. And now I'm getting hit by artillery. I've got an IS-7 to the front. We're a tank down, and I'm thinking, what are we going to do now? Now we're getting a little bit of spotting damage. We're trying to get some shots into that IS-7's track or his lower plate, but we just can't find the shot. So we're now in a very difficult location, the Concept 1B, continuing to try and get some damage on the people on the hill, but taking damage in return, and he takes a big shot from the IS-7 there, turning his back to him, which was a little bit of a mistake. Now, I want to stay in this location. I want to try and get eyes on the IS-7. I want to try and stop anyone else going on top of the hill, or at least spot them so they take damage if they do. Keep spotting the IS-7. There we go. We're getting a little bit of spotting damage so the artillery can pound him. The IS-7, a particular problem for me right now. Tier 10 tank, heavy and with very, very good armour. So we can see now I've got not much I can do to the I-7. He's taken some shots, so he's gone up the hill, and he is now also on top of the hill. And at this point we'd be thinking, oh dear, what are we going to do now? We've lost our Concept 1B as well, and it's looking a little bit grim at this point. There's a lot of enemies on the hill, and we are now pretty much forced back into our own territory, with most of our players, to be honest, either at the back of the map or right on the very edges of the map, so very much playing on the red lines of the map. So I'm thinking, what is it I'm going to do? What is it I'm going to do? I'm looking to see, can I spot anybody? Is there anybody further over on the ridge? Can I get a spot on somebody on top of the hill? And so this is all this dilemma, you know, you've lost the hill, what do you do now on mines? So at the moment I'm looking to see if I can peek round. Is there anybody kind of driving around there that we can get a shot off? Can't see anybody. Going to go back and peek, and we're sort of keeping forwards and back. Can we see somebody? Still nobody there. What are we going to do next? So we're continuing to try and see if we can get any pressure, see anybody on the hill, but I'm acutely aware there's a Scorpion G on the other side there in the normal tank destroyer position, and he'll see me as soon as I peek up too far, and that will definitely hurt on that plus 500 damage. So, you know, we are really thinking about what are we going to do next. So there's the Scorpion G. The Scorpion G actually made a move to come up on top of the hill, but we couldn't actually get him in time. He actually does take a bit of damage from our team on the way up as well, and then the artillery puts a huge amount of hit onto him, and we get the spotting for that as we keep him spotted as he moves on top of the hill. So at that point I'm thinking there's only so much you can do here. There's nobody to see on top of the hill, and the EBR there, he just took a pot shot and I couldn't even see him. Luckily our good turret armor managed to absorb that one. So Object 140 there's just killed our SU-130, and it's looking a bit grim. We are down 4 tanks. The enemy has lost none. They hold the hill, and we've just lost another tank. We're now 5 tanks down, but we are just a little bit up on hit points. So what I'm deciding to do now is, I'm not doing anything in that location, is I'm going to drive around the hill and I'm going to proxy spot people that are trying to peek over the top, trying to take out our guys sat on the red line. So it's one of the good things you can do here is you can just go backwards and forwards and just try and proxy spot people on top of the hill and build up that spotting damage. As you can see, we're already up to nearly 2,000 assistance damage. So we're coming around now. We're going to see if there's anyone that's sort of peeking around the corner there. There's nobody there. That's where the T10 was killed, but we spot the Stand B who does take some damage. And the enemy have now lost 2 tanks. We're actually up 2,000 hit points despite being 3 tanks behind. So don't always look at the number of tanks you've lost. You do need to consider the hit points. It's definitely worth having that feature on. This does give you an indication of, you know, how strong your team is left. That's always good to have that additional gun on the battlefield, because even a tank with only 10 hit points or 1 hit point can do significant damage. But oh look, we've spotted a T28 prop. We know the side of his turret's quite weak for our penetration, and we get the shot into him, and a T54 has joined him as well. And we're 2,500 damage up, and now only 2 tanks down. What we can see here is looking for that shot onto the T54, and our strong turret armor is certainly paying off right now. That T28 comes again, and we again go for the side of his turret. We bounce the T28 prop, we bounce the Object 140, bouncing 1,400 damage off the turret there, and we bounce another shot. That's now nearly 2,000 damage bounced off the turret of the Centurion 7-1 of not insignificant tanks. Artie trying to take a shot on me there, and we're continuing to see what it is we can do to support our team, keeping the Object 140 spotted. And there we go, the Object 140 tier 10. It's got a potent gun, and he goes straight through my turret armor, and for 317 damage. So again, having to be careful of that Object 140. It can be a bit of a nasty tank, particularly for a tier 9 Centurion. So we've managed to spot the guys on the hill. They're now staying pretty safe after we put quite a bit of damage on the T28 and the T54. We have lost another tank, as have the enemy. Their EBR is now gone. We're going to again try and proxy spot people on top of the hill. If they can be seen, they can be shot at, and that's what we're looking for, is to play cautiously, spot the enemy on the hill, and whittle them down. And I think that's the thing, is if you're losing the hill on mines, is playing a bit patiently, playing a bit cautiously, and grinding them down off the hill until you've either got enough strength to control one flank or enough strength to retake the hill. Right now we're still not in that position, being a number of tanks down, despite having plus 3,000 hit points. So the Object 140, again, he manages to put a shot in, and as you can see from the front of a tank, look at that, straight through the turret like it's not even there, and you can see the potency of the Object 140's gun. So again, we're playing safe at the moment, we're playing a bit cautiously. We've just taken 2 hits from that Object 140's nasty tank. We're seeing who else can we spot. Can we spot and get some artillery fire on him? That would be nice. That's what I'm trying to do at the moment, is to try and keep him spotted to see if our artillery can put some pressure onto him. As we can see there, the artillery did manage to get some hit onto him, even though he just disappeared because we were spotting that location. We're going to come around the base of the hill again, staying as close as we can to the base, trying to proxy spot anyone who is peeking but remains hidden. And the T-28, he's actually moved further up into position, so it's, can we see him? Can we come round far enough to see him through the gap in the rock? And we can't. We can't get that shot on the T-28. So we're biding our time. The T-54 is making a play down the eastern flank. We're changing direction, going to see if we can help out our ST2, who is clearly under huge amounts of pressure. But can we finish off that T-54? And he disappears and we can't get sight on him. But we continue to proxy spot the Leopard, but of course I am also being proxy spotted, so I have to be quite careful coming this far around the corner. And we can also see that Object 140 has relocated. I blind fire to the corner of the building, hoping to catch a T-54, and unfortunately he is not there. Always worth, if you've got plenty of shells, blind firing to try and get that critical kill, because that can make the difference in the game. So next we're coming back round to the hill, so we're continuing to try and proxy spot anyone we can. We're spotting for our team to get damage, we're grinding the enemy team down. We're now nearly plus a 4,000 hit points, despite being, 2 tanks down over the enemy team, but we've got plus of 4,000 hit points. That's actually quite huge, and goes to show that we still are very much in this game and can win this game. But the enemy still do hold the dominating position on the hill. The Leopard poking out to see if he can get a shot on our Centurion or Canoniac Panzer. We're going to come round the base of the hill again to see what we can spot. You can see right now we're up to 2,700 spotting damage, so that spotting is definitely paying off. T-54, he comes to the edge of the building and proxy spotted. He knows I'm here, but I'm like, I can't see him, so I go into that almost tactical view and I can see that he's actually too far around the corner, and the Standard B manages to get our ST2. Losing the ST2 in the east, a real problem there, and that flank now is completely vulnerable, and that leaves a real big problem for me because I'm vulnerable down the eastern flank and I'm vulnerable across the top of the hill as well. So I've got to try and manage trying to get intelligence my team on both locations. You know, you can see with that one kill we're down only plus 2,000 hit points, but we're still trading. Leopard manages to kill the 140, and that is big. That is one of the enemy tier 10s that is down. There were only 3 tier 10s on each side. We still have 2. The enemy now have 2 of theirs as well. So a Barask has appeared on this side. So we come round to see, where did he go? Where has that Barask gone? So we come up, we spot the IS-7. Who's trying to peek around the corner, but I can't see the Barask. Where did he go? And the focus on the Barask gets me to take my eye off the map, and ouch, I take 2 big hits. We finish off the Standard B, but we take a hit, 2 hits now from the T-54 and a big hit from the T-28. The T-28's gone, the T-54's gone, and the Standard B is gone. So despite getting myself into an absolutely awful situation there, being shot from both sides, we actually managed to reveal a whole bunch of tanks of which our team was able to get the kills on. So we've actually just done a huge swing there, killing 3 enemy tanks, and the Leopard 1 now kills the Su-130 and their T-55, and Leopard making a big push in the west. This game has completely turned around from where we were. The enemy still hold the hill, but we are now looking to surround them. They've got 3 tanks left plus an artillery, and we're looking to surround those tanks and hit them from the flank. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm looking to come round. The artillery probably in the water. Oh no, the artillery is not where I thought he would be. Completely changed my mind. The artillery is now over behind this house in an unusual location. So I'm looking to come round to see if I can get a shot on the artillery. So there he is. Now I don't know if he's reloaded yet or not, so I'm just going to peek. I peek, I shoot, and I make a really bad shot. The shell drops to the bottom of the reticle and I don't have it aimed well enough. And now I know that that artillery is absolutely properly reloaded. We've spotted the Barask and we get the damage for that. They kill off the M40 because I'm acutely aware at 33 hit points, he's only got to splash me and I'm not going to survive. But with 33 hit points, we were still able to help the team flank, spot, provide intelligence. and we're finishing the game there, and we've got 1,900 damage, 3,000 spotting assistance, 5,000 combined, and you know, most of that is in spotting, and it just goes to show, even with a few hit points, you know, even playing on this map with mines in a tier 9, there are tier 10s running around. What is it you can do? You know, how can I help this? Provide intelligence to your team, spot where you can while still trying to be safe, and utilize the ability to proxy spot. And don't throw in the towel because you're a few tanks down, because that's not the whole story. Let's go back to the garage. So here we are back in the garage with our Centurion 7-1. I hope you guys found that a useful bit of gameplay to watch. That thought about when you're on the mines map, you've lost a hill, you've lost a whole bunch of tanks, you seem to be behind. What is it you do next? And hopefully, with it showing a little bit of patience, the ability to provide intelligence to your team so you're spotting the enemy so that they can be killed by others, getting that spotting assistance, and not just looking at how many tanks you've lost, making sure that you know how many hit points you've got as well, because just losing tanks doesn't tell the whole story. And as you saw on that mines game, all looked lost. We lost the hill and we were far behind on tanks, but we turned it around through, I think, some cautious and smart gameplay, rather than throwing in the towel or rushing in or just trying to farm the damage before you die. So hopefully that was useful. As always, thank you for your support on our Facebook page, on Twitch and on YouTube. If you want to see more content, please like, subscribe and follow, help grow the channel. We love games here, we love playing World of Tanks, but we love all games, and we'll be seeing some more game content coming out over the next few weeks. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. Also, if you give it a thumbs down, let me know why, and then we can make some changes for the future. We're looking to improve all the time, and we won't improve unless you tell us. You've been watching Attribution Gaming, and we'll see you on the battlefield.